Okay, this is a test of a new version of the Elgato Game Capture HD60, and for this, I am going to go into the Crash Bandicoot 4 demo because it is one of the digital-only games I have on this PS4. I'm going to be trying to talk most of this whole time so that I can see if this cuts out while I am doing commentary. So, logo time. I could test if perfect relics still exist in the demo, but I am not sure, and since the demo doesn't really show the gems at the end of a level, I'm assuming not, and I am not sure if I'll be able to get a perfect run of these levels anyway, so yeah, but at least it will give me an excuse to play for a somewhat decent length of time. I also just realized that I could also test Psychonauts 2, so blah, 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 you must sell your soul in order to play this demo for some reason. I don't know why a demo of a game, of a platform with no multiplayer needs a 24-page privacy policy, but oh well. Let's go into the first level, Snow Way Out. And if I remember right, I think these loading screens are kind of long-ish. I also tried recording this when it first came out, the demo I mean, and I was not enjoying it, so I ended up scrapping that plan. But I ended up kind of enjoying the game, even though it is very hard. So, yeah, it's on... There we go. Okay, should be going into the cutscene soon.
Crash Bandicoot. You banished me to the past, but all it did was give me more time to plan your doom. You'll find me up the mountain. Don't freeze on the way.
Well, you know, I'm sensing a real fraught history here. How many times have you beaten this clown anyway? 3. Really? Only 3? Funny. Seemed like more.
I think that cutscene is the only reason why they made this level part of the demo. Because it kind of explains the premise of where this game is set in the Crash timeline. And speaking of time, we now have Kapuna Wa, the time manipulation mask, which lets us break these time boxes, which otherwise would go invisible again way too fast for us to be able to do anything with. I think, technically speaking, you actually do have enough time to go across that before it goes away, but it's a lot easier to just use the time slow. This one, though, you definitely need the time slow for. I think I like to activate it... Like, if you do it, you can spin, like, first, and then activate the time slow, like, right after you spin. Like that. Okay, there we go. That's broken all of those. And these guys, you usually need the time slow to actually get past. I like to activate it as they're pulling back their Marlin harpoons that are made of Marlins. Which just makes me think of that immortal fanfiction line, blood bananas made of blood. Yeah, I had a feeling there was another fish guy here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to slow that. Yep, that was probably a bad time to activate that TNT, but I made it work. And soon, we will be entering an area where we are allowed to die without failing our perfect relic run. Again, if there even are perfect relics in this demo, I'm not actually sure. So yeah, here, this is like a puzzle to show that you can step on nitros while time slow is in effect. And here, I actually prefer to get that one later. Like, you can get that with your first pass across the nitros, but I prefer to double back for it. For example, like this right here, too. I like to get these nitros, jump away, and then focus on getting these belly flop boxes. Have to do the belly flop while these are still there. Don't know if that was bad. And then here, right here, so you can actually use the Nitro's explosion to get that outline, but I kind of prefer to do it the slow and safer way, which is like that. And these boxes would have been extra lives if we were playing in lives mode or classic mode, but they're golden or big Wumpa Fruit boxes now, which you kind of still need to get because of the Wumpa Gems, which, I don't know, I'm still not really a big fan of those. I get that it gives fruit a purpose when you're not playing with lives on, but at the same time, like, if you get the box gem, you're pretty much guaranteed to get the Wumpa Fruit gems anyway. And I just didn't want to talk over Cortex's evil laughter there. We'll find out what that means if we do one of the other levels in this demo. Oh, now it's this part. This part of the level is... This is where things get a lot more complicated, especially in the second, the sort of harder version of this, where you have to worry about getting boxes while jumping across those, falling down ice platforms. Oh hey, I actually got the flashback tape this time. I think that's actually the first time I found the flashback tape in this demo. The flashback tape, they work a lot like the death routes in earlier Crash games. You have to reach where it is without dying. And otherwise it will be an outline. So like, you'll always know where it is, and yep, the game loves jerkishly placed sneaky boxes like that. They pretty much turned every level into cold hard Crash in that regard, so considering the levels are also quite long and difficult, yeah, that's one issue some people have with this game. Getting to the end of one of these levels only to realize that you missed one box is always incredibly frustrating, but yeah, that's where the hidden gem is in this version of the level. The later versions are where, well, we'll maybe see that later, but those versions have different hidden gem locations, as do the inverted levels, but that's a story for the full game. Okay, this is just one of those, like, double sets of bounce rods. You can nudge the camera, like, slightly up or down in this game, which is something that I kind of wish you could do in the earlier Crash games. It doesn't really help that much, but sometimes it can show you some, like, where off-camera boxes or secrets might be, like in here. I keep jumping on these boxes thinking there's something above them. I don't think there is. Yeah, but here nudging the camera really helps. And as you can tell, there are 3 types of those ice flows. The ones that crack, the ones that are slippery, the ones that are neither, and the ones that are both. Actually 4. I can't do maths, apparently. But yeah, there we go, we can get that box, and these enemies are actually kind of funny. I didn't know this until I saw a montage video of all the death animations, but they actually have a different death animation depending on whether, like, they manage to hit you while the ball, like, the ball and chain is sort of flying at you, versus whether they hit you, like, whether you just run right into them when they're just holding their ball and chain in place. In that version, they just stand still and just drop it on Crash's head, and it's kind of funny. Now here, this is another sequence that is way trickier in the alternate version of this level because you have to spin a bunch of boxes in the middle of all that. And here, we have to deal with falling down ice segments in 3D! Or, you know, towards the camera instead of, Oh, that was probably a terrible, terrible idea. Oh, yeah, I'm screwed. Well, almost did a no-death run, I guess, but I will keep going just for the sake of testing my capture card. Yeah, this area I need to kind of figure out a better strategy for getting across this section, because you've got falling down platforms combined with falling ice. See, I like to stop my time freeze here. There we go, that's the way I should have handled it in the first place. And hey, those things falling on your head still, I'm so tempted to show off the alternate death animation with this guy, but I don't think I will do it. But yeah, I almost fell off the side there. That would have been incredibly embarrassing. I have played this demo before recently, so yeah, only one death is because I have more practice. Oh hey, it looks like someone was eating fish over there. Apparently this is supposed to be the dimension of zombie fishermen. Why are there zombie fishermen? I don't know. But, you don't, like, you learn in cartoony mascot platformers not to question the presence of anything. I don't think there's anything here. This sequence is also a lot, yeah, because I'm used to playing the other version of this level, which I might actually show right after this. You know, I'm used to the much harder version of this segment. Now, I think the fire there actually does hurt you, but I don't want to test that out now. I remember I used to hate the double jump physics when I first played this demo, but I've grown accustomed to them. The double jump is kind of more of a readjustment tool in this game than it is an actual, like, height tool. Okay, that should blow both of those. Now, I may be missing, like, if I miss one box, I'm going to be mildly frustrated, but not hugely. Okay, so there's 3. Yeah, it looks like I've forgotten the location of one of the jerkishly hidden boxes in this level. So, anyway, yeah, that wasn't, well, I only got 1 death, though, so that was almost perfect. I also love this animation, like, it's just like Crash is going, really? You want me to make me do that again? That was 11 minutes for just 1 level. Yeah, the levels in this are pretty long. And I may as well show the other version of this, a level name that, they wouldn't let them call level, well, I mean, it's different people. It was Naughty Dog for the original and Toys for Bob now, but they wouldn't let them call level Sphinxter back in Crash 3. But now they can get away with a level called Ship Happens. Okay, 11 minutes 41 seconds in, and it still hasn't died yet, but that's only early days.
The Bandicoots are en route. I must reach the spot.
That's a line you'll probably hear a lot as you redo this level, but yes, Cortex plays kind of interestingly. He has a blaster that's, well, we'll see how that works in a bit. Only a single jump, no double jump, but he also has that dash maneuver that gives you a little bit of, like, a second in the air to readjust yourself after the dash, you'll see in a moment. But yeah, so the first time you shoot an enemy, it turns into a platform, and the second time you shoot an enemy, it turns into a bouncy platform, a bouncy platform that you can bounce on. But yeah, you have that little, like, wiggle at the end of your, like, flying animation, and that's what you use in case, like, just, you know, like, if you just, need to readjust your landing slightly. So, I do find, like, okay, I get they wanted to show off Cortex gameplay, but I feel like this level was a bit of a weird one to choose for that, because this is actually not meant to, this is, like, if you've played the final game, you'll know that this is not the first Cortex level you're supposed to do. And this is not, in fact, the level that introduces Cortex's unique mechanics at all. It's a level in the next dimension over, and then you unlock the Cortex, versions of earlier levels. So, again, not really hugely a fan of them choosing this, because it's actually a little harder than that level, and it doesn't really give you any clear tutorials on how. Well, as you get to see that, I was like, oh, it's going to turn back into a normal platform, but no, like, oh yeah, no, shooting it a third time turns it back into an enemy. Like, again, like, all of this is actually explained much better in what's supposed to be Cortex's actual first level, so I kind of wish they'd used that. They used a level from that world, in this demo. Dino Dash is from that world, but for some reason they decided to use the Cortex level here instead of, and then I guess they wanted to show off, like, that, the Cortex timeline mechanic, where you'll see at the end of this segment. Yeah, for this, oh, this is probably a little too far out. And also, I actually prefer to shoot that one rather than get it via bouncing. It's a lot easier to do this, because then you can adjust yourself back like that. Generally, the platforms here are spaced out to the point where a dash will get you across most of the time. Like, they're kind of spaced out like one dash width away. You press what is the slide button for Crash and Coco to dash, but yeah, here, again, like, this is pretty much one dash width exactly, as is this. And here, you don't actually need to dash to get that hidden gem, and that's where the hidden gem is in this version of the level. Also, we get to hear a kind of a cool, a variation of the original Snow Way Out music, except with Cortex, with a little bit of Cortex's theme in it too, which is kind of nice. Okay, that was weird, but it worked. And yes, look very closely, there is a box there. I think I missed that the first time I played this level, and that's an awkward position for the platform, but I think I can make it work. Yeah, I can shoot it from there, that's good.
On a cold winter's night, have yourself a bite of Bandicoot stew.
And a lot of people's favorite, one of people's favorite lines from this game. Cortex, in general, has some of the best lines. Don't hold bounce there. And yeah, here I believe you also don't want to hold bounce. Actually, you may want to hold it slightly. Yeah, this whole segment is, you get better at it with practice. Oh yeah, here, yeah, you can just kind of weave around the nitros there. That's easier.
Oh. Just a few more steps and you'll be Bandicoot.
And that explains why this happened in the level we were in previously. So whenever, like, your character does, like, a question mark, exclamation mark, that's because that level has a, an alternate character variant. And, oh boy, when that question mark appears in bears repeating, that's when, your soul explodes, because pain. Oh, that's not gonna... Oh, that's actually is gonna work, yeah. So these are the sequences I said where it gets harder in this second version. So basically, we now have to play the second half of Snow Way Out, except harder. And as you can see, these sequences are gonna be slightly more involved, because, yeah, they've now got, disappearing... not disappearing. They've got outline boxes in them. I'm not entirely sure where that box is. There we go. Okay, yeah, it's there. There are still boxes here, but there's also, this time, a lot of TNTs. If those were nitros, that would probably be far worse, but they're not that sadistic. Usually in this game, when you have to ask the question, are they that sadistic, the answer is usually yes, but in this case, the answer was no. Because I think there's more stuff up here this time. Is there? Yeah, there's one here. Yeah, so that one's a case of a both platform. It's both slippery and unstable. Whereas that one there, this one's fine. This one is merely unstable, and this one is merely slippery. Forget if, like, the thing pumps them out in a random order or not. But, uh-oh, we have a firebox here. This is an example of where you answer yes to the question of are the developers that sadistic, because they designed a box that is specifically designed to kill you. Yeah, the fireboxes are death if you touch them while they have fire, so that is kind of a thing. And here, I think I'd rather try and get the outline boxes first. One thing that I like doing here, of course, this doesn't apply to the to going for the insane relic because you have to not die anyway, but I like to wait to get that checkpoint until I've got all the boxes in this area so that if you die later, you don't have to recollect any boxes. Because checkpoints save your box count, usually. Not in the original version of, original PS1 version of Crash 1. Also, yes, there are even more outline boxes here that we haven't activated yet. But yeah, that's an exclamation mark, so that's gonna, I think, activate those. Yeah, that activates those, and here... Can we reach that? Yes, we can. Okay, good. In Crash 1, you'd really only have one shot at that kind of box setup, but you don't here. Okay, yeah, these boxes right here, often it's good to get the question marks before the TNTs break them, because that gives you more fruit for the fruit gems. And yeah, with that, now I like to hit that box, so that now my box progress there is saved. Now, I think, is there stuff above this? I think the fire can actually sometimes hit you through the belly flop boxes, so beware of that. There was a checkpoint right there. I really want to try and show this. So, yeah, that's what happens if you, like, I didn't know that animation existed until I saw the death montage. But that's what happens if you run into them while they're just standing still and not actually swinging the ball and chain. Now, I like it when this guy hits both of those. Oh, he hit neither of them. That's really bad. Sometimes he breaks one, sometimes he breaks both, and sometimes he breaks neither. When he breaks neither, that's when you've got issues, because, yeah. So, yeah, this part also is a part of where you have issues. Was that? Oh, nope, that was almost completely worse than not getting the boxes. Okay. Hopefully that's enough time. Not quite, I bounced on them instead of spun. Oh, that's probably too... Oh no, that wasn't actually too low, I just missed one of them. So yeah, so this is the clumsier way to get these. Yeah, that one disappears, I think, a little faster than the others do. Okay, there you go. Right. Okay, here, slide, jump, spin that, and here is the part where, yeah, I don't like this part. This part may be my least favorite part of this level when it comes to getting the box gem. Because, oh, wow, I actually did it in one try. That was surprising. I mean, okay, I didn't quite fully 100% this game before. I did everything except the platinum relics because I don't, yeah. I like to activate the time slow right after breaking those so that I get the nitro as well. But yeah, I got all of the insane perfect relics. I did not get the platinum relics because, oh, I don't like the way time trials work in this game. You don't have, like, the crash dash ability. You instead have the triple spin where you have to press the square button in rhythm for the entire level. Okay, now I don't like this either. Because, yeah, you've got to slide that out from under the TNT without the TNT falling on you, and that's surprisingly finicky. Yeah, that guy usually hits that one. Okay, broke both of those. I like how checkpoints make a little musical jingle in this game. May not have been entirely noticeable there, but, like, they usually make a kind of jingle like that. Do I dare do this the risk? Yeah, I did it. Okay, that's good. The platform that is coming to get that one is unstable, so I'm gonna get it that way. You know, one thing that I find is a bit of an underappreciated trait that all, like, mascot platformers should have, enemies that make funny noise. Yeah, I had a feeling it wasn't fully aligned that, but yeah, enemies that make funny noises. Because that's always a memorable part of, you know, the thing in general. And, oh, yep, barely saved myself there. I was thinking that I was going to hit the water that time. Almost did there, too. I don't think the ice physics are really that bad in this game. I'm trying to think of which, like, platformer I played that has, like, really, really particularly extreme ice physics. I know there's a few of them, but... Of course, nothing's nearly as ridiculous as Xenoblade Ice Physics, but yeah, unfortunately they toned them down in Definitive Edition. So when, because I think when, okay, I'm going to save that one for later, because that one's kind of special. But yeah, when, as I'm recording this, Proton John is playing through Xenoblade 1 Definitive Edition on a stream, and yeah, because he's playing Definitive Edition. Unfortunately, he's not going to get to experience Chugga talking to him about the... Yeah, like, the ice physics, like, that Chugga loves aren't as insane in the Definitive Edition, which is a little bit of a shame. Okay. I don't know if... did I miss boxes back? Like, I'm going to check to see if there's anything back here. Even though I've already kind of failed at getting the perfect relic, but yeah. Anything back here? Looks like I don't think there's any outline boxes that I missed. I'm not going to chance making that, like, jump entirely on this line, so... I do have a mask, though, for these nitros, just in case that goes badly, but, So yeah, this bit. This bit, we have a timer box without the mask. Oh, that's not good, that's not good, that's not good. Okay, yeah, I think I got all of them there. Because, yeah, if you miss, like, one of those, you have to backtrack all the way back to that timer box in the field of nitros. And yeah, and something that a lot of people have kind of found with Crash 4 is that Ooga Boogas are actually not that useful because most of your deaths are going to be to bottomless pits or water or other things, and the masks aren't going to protect you from that. Now, did I get the gem? Yes, that's weird. Like, I can pretty consistently get all the boxes in this version of the level, despite it being seemingly harder than the other one, but I just always miss one box and Snow Way out. But I suppose while I'm here, I can do the final level in this demo, Dino Dash. This is another level that, like, it's funny, like, when I first played this demo, I actually got turned off of playing this game because I did not like how it controlled because I was used to the earlier games, but I actually think that the selection of levels for this demo was maybe not great. Like, they're levels that you can get a decent knack for with practice, but Dino Dash is actually a very late level into this game. Like, this is World 7 of 10. It's the last level in World 7 of 10, actually. So, like, it's a very late game level, and you'll see early into it that it introduces a mechanic that, I'll talk about that once we get there. It'll all make sense in a moment. Just after this, here we go. So yeah, I do like how they managed to make, like, prehistoric levels in this game that don't feel like a rehash of the ones in Crash 3. Like, these levels look nothing like the prehistoric levels in Crash 3. Like, in general, Crash 4 has amazing art, and it's one of those things that, like, I feel like this kind of sort of cartoonish, like, almost, I don't think this is, like, cel-shaded, but kind of, this art style, I think, is gonna make this game age very, very well, at least graphically. Difficulty-wise, I'm not sure, but yeah, like these graphics still look amazing. Like, this is one of the prime reasons why I say, like, art style over graphics. That said, I don't know how this game runs on Switch. I've only played it on PS4, which is the first version that was released. Oh, I guess I can, no, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna be safe and not try and demonstrate sliding boxes out from under TNTs. You can spin those guys, I'm just not doing it because I don't want to risk getting hit, but here, like I did in the previous levels, I like to get these boxes and then hit the checkpoint so I don't have to, like, obtain them again if I lose a life, but anyway, this mask, so yeah, this is why I don't like this level being chosen for the demo, because one, this is our first time being introduced to this mask in the demo. You press the R2 button and you toggle objects on or off based on, like, whether they have a blue outline around them. We are also introduced to this mechanic and the grind rail mechanic at the same time, with no real tutorial or easing into either mechanic. So yeah, that happens. This level, you are supposed to be introduced to both this mask, Lani Loli, and the grind rail mechanic in level 1 of World 2. So that just goes to show just, like, how far into things they're kind of dumping us in with no real explanation. And I don't really mean in the sense of, like, exposition-heavy tutorials or things like that. What I mean is the fact that they're throwing us into a late-game level with no real time for us to get used to the mechanics in easier levels first. But speaking of getting used to mechanics, I really like the design here, though. See this? They let you get introduced to that mechanic, the fact that touching those mushrooms makes you dizzy for a moment, and the fact that you have to spin these bones to get rid of them in a risk-free environment, so that now that you have to deal with those mechanics while running away from a giant T-Rex that wants to kill you, you know how they work, and you don't have to, you know, panic about learning these mechanics in an actually dangerous environment. That is good design, I like that. It's just kind of the collectibles that this game has an issue with. Like, in terms of the overall level design, I think this is one of the best platformers I've ever played. Also, that question mark there, yes, that means there is another version of this level. We don't get to play it in the demo. Spoilers, it's a Dingo Dial level. Now this I actually, yeah, speaking of good design, this is actually annoying because if you do that, you actually have to kill yourself. Thankfully, the rocks are a checkpoint, even though it doesn't tell you, but because you actually need to... And you need to get a high bounce too. There must be a more consistent way to do this, but you actually do need, like, a regular double jump isn't enough to do it. You actually do need that second box in order to get something above you there. And here, if you want extra fruit for the gem, you can get that. And now we go into a 2D segment, which has falling down platforms across a swamp with bubbles that are dangerous. So, like, again, this is a fairly late game level to be throwing you into. Comparatively speaking, the world this level is in is, I feel, actually not that hard for its placement in the game. Like, again, comparatively speaking, it's still pretty hard by most platformer standards, but, this world comes right after Bears Repeating, which, if you haven't played this game and don't know what Bears Repeating is, well, your sanity is intact. There's a very good reason that level is called Bears Repeating, because you'll be repeating it a lot. I wonder if they were self-aware when they named that. It also has a question mark cutscene in it, and thus has a, another version of it. Yeah. The polar segment in that is a thing. Speaking of things, this bonus is actually surprisingly involved. A lot of the bonuses are kind of platforming puzzles in this game. However, this right here is actually a lot more manageable than it would have been in Crash 1, where you wouldn't have, like, a double jump. This game's apparently been patched since I first played it, to make the animal riding segments a lot, not as much easier, but the hitboxes a lot more lenient, with stacks of 4 boxes in a row, which was always the problem with Bears Repeating. Because if you missed a single one of those, that ruined your perfect run of the level, and you had to restart the entire thing from the beginning. Now this thing here, this is one of those sequences that's a little trial and error. Jump, jump, spin. In order to get sets of boxes like that on a grind rail, you have to jump and spin. And that's another thing that you are, well, not instructed, you are wordlessly instructed about much earlier in the game, in the actual final game. You're supposed to be introduced to that mechanic in the pirate world, which is the, thank you, T-Rex, for tripping there. Which is the, third world? Yeah, it's the third world, I think. You only need one jump to get across those heads. I guess they wanted to show this level because, you know, it's a Crash game, there has to be the obligatory running away from something, thing. I like how the T-Rex is, you can see the T-Rex walking away in the background, but I don't like how it just kind of fades out. And here, oh yeah, you actually can, if you look very closely, see the hidden gem behind that rock. This whole sequence with these burning trees, though, reminds me a lot of, oh, that's a flashback tape that I can't get because I've died. But yeah, this reminds me of, what's it called? The fire, like, the forest on fire level in Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which this game actually reminds me of quite a lot. But yeah, this area is where you learn, kind of, you're sort of supposed to know it much earlier, because again, this is a late game level, where you learn that, like, you can actually slide and defy physics like that over bottomless pits and actually jump out of the slide as you reach a platform, so you'll need to know that for those segments right there. Also, yeah, that's what sliding boxes out from under TNTs looks like. And, so back during the Snow Way Out segment, I talked about segments that are a lot harder when it comes to box placements in their alternate versions. Oh boy, this one! In the this version of this final chase for Dino Dash is not that bad. The alternate version of this is so much worse, because notice how the T-Rex there jumps around, the lava there? In the alternate version, there is a box in midair on the segment the T-Rex sidesteps, which means the T-Rex does not break that box for you during the chase, so you have to get that box yourself in the middle of the chase. It's it is kind of a pain, because that last section where the T-Rex makes a huge leap over the final 3 platforms, that can very easily get you if you're not fast enough, because its hitbox is pretty big once it makes the final leap. So, yeah, that is all of those levels, so I guess I can exit out of that and, play Fortnite. No, I'm not going to play Fortnite. I have this digitally, and yet I haven't actually started it yet, and a lot of people tell me it's amazing. I would play Psychonauts 2, but it'll put me into post-game state where there's a lot of spoilers, and also there's long loading screens in Psychonauts 2, so I'm not sure about that, actually. I've got Wild Arms 3, Well, I guess I can jump into some of the start of a game I've been playing really recently, Tales of Arise. Just started this game yesterday as of recording this. Don't intend to do this game on the channel at all officially, it's just something I'm playing on my own time. But this is incredibly early into the game, like I'm about maybe 2 hours in at most, so don't worry about any major spoilers. In fact, this image right here is technically a spoiler from where I am, because as of where I have played up to, the main character's mask hasn't completely broken, so he just has this giant bucket over his head, and we don't even know what his face looks like. And yet his face is shown right there, so yeah, that's kind of weird. But, okay then. Yeah, blah blah blah, this game has autosave, blah. Blah blah blah, attack mode, blah. I am just randomly talking while I test this capture device. It has been 37 minutes so far, and it has not died yet. However, I have had, like, it could just be luck. Oh, I'm gonna skip that, because that could be, I like the opening theme for this game, but that could easily just get copyrighted, so I'm gonna skip that. Don't even know if I'll upload this, so I'm not actually sure about, if I even need to care about copyright, but, is save data upload, is that for I think that's for PS5. But, Sword Art Online collaboration pack on sale now. I wonder, see, okay, so like, I know a lot of people in real life who don't actually think Sword Art Online is that bad. Like, they just think it's, like, average at worst, really. I kind of feel like the internet exaggerates that thing's flaws, but at the same time, I do wonder how many people get the DLC just to beat up Kirito. I feel like some people who play this game would do that. So we are in the fire realm essentially, and I'm actually controlling the female protagonist here.
You should be able to eat this. Whenever you find some, make sure to grab it.
It's edible, huh? Good to know.
Definitely.
Definitely too good to know, or definitely too it's edible? Yeah, I saw like a post somewhere where someone said, like, just imagine the process that came from like humanity discovering bread. Like, seriously, the amount of steps that you have to do in like steps that don't make any sense unless you know what the end result would be.
That is one enormous stray.
I don't think we can take it right now.
Aha, unique monsters, I guess. Also, we have a skit here. But yeah, like the sheer like number of like steps that you need to take in order to make bread that are all just completely unintuitive if you don't know that you're making bread. Like, just imagine like what the first humans, like how they discovered bread.
We've almost made it to Ulzebek.
Anyway, let's get some mushrooms and skit time.
Cut it out. Didn't anyone ever tell you it's rude to stare?
I know I already asked you this, but are you sure we haven't met somewhere before?
What's so hard to understand? I'm Renan, you're Danon. There's no way. Besides, I'm from Lenegis. Trust me, wherever you were before you lost your memory, we've never crossed paths.
Lenegis? You mean the same Lenegis that's up in the sky? I've heard it called the Renan's Castle, but I never imagined people actually lived up there.
Well then, where did you think we all lived? Didn't you see the Renan Lords descend for the crown contest?
And how long ago was that?
Well, the current contest started 7 years ago, so...
Then I wouldn't remember.
Just how far back do you remember?
About a year, give or take. That's how long ago Doc found me.
1 year. Then no. I'm sorry, but there really is no way we could have met.
Guess not.
Guess she's implying something there that maybe there is a way they could have met if it was more than 1 year. But yeah, I'm not gonna fight
That's
that.
not a run-of-the-mill enemy.
I'm gonna go and sneakily grab this first. I mine by holding my hand out and making the item disappear into my hand. So, okay, so you know, you can save anywhere in this game. That makes me curious. Oh, well, I'm only like 1 hour in, even less than I thought I'd played. Hello there! Level 43 Mantis. So welcome to the Tales of Arise battle system. You're not going to see much of it because we're about to die in... I was gonna say we were about to die in 1 second. And it turned out to be not an exaggeration. Oh. Okay. So...
Not good enough.
So no, I didn't realize doesn't seem like there are game overs in this game. But that did cost a decent chunk of my CP, or, yeah, they restrict healing, skills in this game to their own resource, which is kind of, I guess I'll see what that's like later. Let's fight something that's more our quality. I can see an owl there, too. So, the weird thing is, you press the R1 button to do basic attacks in this game. And apparently that's a Dark Souls thing. I've never played any Dark Souls games, so I don't know, but yeah. You kind of can do like 3 or 4 basic attacks in a row, and then I like to add an art in. Right now, she's more meant to be the healer, so she doesn't really have much in the way of good offensive abilities right now. So playing as her is a little boring, but...
I can feel my power growing!
Sometimes I forget that I'm playing healer. Also, by the way, the guy currently traveling with us as a guest party member is totally not Zin Vapek from the Trail series. He's voiced by Patrick Seitz, very obviously. I mean, I don't even need to look him up to know that he's Patrick Seitz. Oh, yeah, okay. So that right here, that is why I need to not forget that I'm playing healer.
Resuscitation!
Oh, she called out resuscitation, but the actual skill is called resurrection. I also got ow. Ow! Okay, I need to heal myself now. Somebody maybe try and take that thing. I'm gonna wait for them both to go all Sonic the Hedgehog, and then...
Here, let me help.
Heal. Here, let me help me. Yeah, a lot of, like, Alphen's a much better character to learn the basic battle system with. So a lot of people, but like, I've noticed that a lot of people playing with this game, they just kind of stick with him, like, controlling him. And when I play Tales games, wow, yeah, negative score for that battle because that was not good. But yeah, when I play Tales of games, I usually like to, take turns controlling every party member because I like to experiment with all of them. There will usually be people whose playstyles I prefer over others, but it's often, not the, standard things that people use. Like, for example, I love playing as Natalia in Tales of the Abyss, and I look up online after I beat the game, and I find that most people consider her one of the worst party members. And I'm just like, hey, it lets me keep my distance from powerful enemies while I heal and support the party. I mean, that's kind of cool. I mean, admittedly, she's, one of the only reasons I beat the Sword Dancer in that game, because I was like, oh, hey, I'm just gonna spam arrows from a distance and not ever be in danger. But, I'm guessing Xion works kind of like that. The thing about the Tales series is, its party members are rarely that typical. For example, Xion is the main, healer of this party, but she's also, a gun user and also a mage, so, yeah, there's a lot of mold breaking when it comes to party archetypes.
That's an unusual bird.
It's an owl. They're often used as a symbol to represent ancient Dana.
I sense... okay, accessory none. Outfits, there we go. It should be in outfits. I sense the potential to ruin the mood of cutscenes. See, this is, I normally don't do this at all when I play Tales games, because their stories are usually fairly serious, but, not when you do this, although her hair kind of covers it, which is annoying. I think one of my favorite things to do in the Tales of games is to give the obligatory party trader, like the devil horns and a devil tail. Oh, hey, we can find something. In fact, you know what? Let's switch over to, I think you need to press, no, not square, R1, there we go, to switch who you're controlling. This guy's a lot more interesting to play as. We're not supposed to know his name. Oh, I'm playing as her, okay. Apparently we can change who we control in battle by... Oh, we can press the L1 button to, like, scan. I thought there was a way to change who we control in the middle of battle. I don't know why I'm still controlling Shion here. I was supposed to control Alphen for this. Oh, I need to heal Alphen now. Again, we're not supposed to know his name, but all the promotional material calls him by his actual name, so... And now I'm pressing X thinking that I'm doing normal attacks. Yeah, don't even really have, like, MP for arts. Those, like, little, diamonds near your HP bar, that's, like, how much allowance you have to use arts.
Pathetic.
Yeah, I'm probably not great at playing Shion. But, yeah, how do we... I guess you press square to do change leader? I want to fight something. If we go there, there's going to be a cutscene, and I don't really think I want that, because it's probably going to take us to a town. So I just kind of want to fight one more thing that isn't that. For obvious... I just noticed the tail. Yeah, I don't think it's quite as crazy as Xenoblade 1, where you basically can kill the mood at any time, and, like, you're encouraged to do it, because equipment gives, like, good stat bonuses. I probably should sleep at a campfire, despite her saying, I hate camping out. It means she actually likes it, because apparently she is a tsundere. From what I've heard, she's a pretty decent example of a tsundere. Like, that her Sun side is not really that bad, and whenever she does it, it's usually, like, kind of justified. I didn't fight this thing before. Oh, great, I'm playing the melee character against this thing.
But we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Is this it?
Okay, right. Well, that's not good. I haven't seen this weak point tutorial. Please res me. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. Swallow Blade. Rising. Nope. Yeah, probably should be dodging more. I'm guessing this thing's weak point is its back. Oh, I don't have enough CP, so... Yeah, this is something that gets annoying in Tales of games. When your party leader goes down, you have no revival skills, and thus you're forced to just wait while the AI finishes the fight. That sucks when it happens. But at least there's a campsite here. Oh, wait, I think I'm going the wrong direction. Anyway, these things are easy. I say that now. I'm probably going to mess this up. Oh, I only have 1 health, and I have no heal. Oh, I got healed. Good. 1, 2, 3. Swallow Blade. You ran out of range.
Don't take your eyes off the
One,
I'm quite aware without you reminding
1,
me.
2, 3. Rising Wyvern. Mirage. 1, 2, 3.
Take this. Swallow blade. Still got some energy left.
Need you at?
That thing kind of died before my combo finished. There we go. Actually, you can air combo them a little bit after Rising Wyvern. I should probably do that.
I've used a bit too much healing.
Yeah, let's head back to the campsite for now. I'm almost at 50 minutes recording of this test, and so far the capture device hasn't died yet. But it's hard to tell after just one test like this. Are we gonna get a new skit from resting? I don't know.
My body seems to be doing okay.
Looks like we are.
How come you don't have a scar on your hand?
A scar? What do you mean?
The Crimson Crows all tore off their own spirit cores, right? But your hand doesn't show any signs of ever having a core like theirs. Why not?
I don't know. I don't remember anything about myself from before Doc found me.
Seriously? You have that mask, you don't feel any pain, and you just happen to know how to fight with a sword? No way. You must remember something.
I'm not lying if that's what you think. Believe me, I wish I knew who the hell I am. But I don't. It's funny how I didn't have any time for soul searching while digging up rocks in a mine.
Still.
Are you saying you've told us everything about yourself?
Zephyr.
It's bad manners to pry when you've got plenty to hide yourself.
You're not gonna ask me about my past too?
Only when I think it's necessary. You're a real man of mystery, I'll admit. That said, I'm not one to dig around in someone's business just out of curiosity. If you remember something and feel like sharing, you're free to do so. For now, I think that's good enough.
Right. Thank you.
Reminisce is where you can view previous skits as well as previous cinematics, which is pretty cool. I like it being justified like that. Oh, we have a new skit too.
So this whole you not feeling pain thing, is that for real?
Why would I lie about it? And why would you care anyway?
No, it's just, you know, I can't imagine what it's like, that's all.
As a slave, I'd say it has its advantages and disadvantages.
Oh?
On the upside, when Renan soldiers push me around, I hardly flinch. The downside's that I get injured without even noticing. Which means I could be knocking on death's door and not even realize it.
Really?
Sure. I may be numb to pain, but it doesn't make me immortal or anything. Still, I wouldn't have noticed any of this if someone hadn't pointed it out to me. If not for my fellow slaves, I'd be long dead, lying in a ditch somewhere. Make sure to get some good rest.
Something that I do really like about this, I don't like that they've used the whole amnesia as an excuse for exposition thing with the main character. But I mean, it's kind of unavoidable sometimes. But what I do like is the portrayal of somebody who doesn't feel pain, because, like, from what I've heard from real life, this is a very real thing that happens. Like, there actually are people who have, like, numbed, like, pain responses. It has something to do with nerve damage, or, in fact, it's actually how, this is a little disturbing, but it's actually how leprosy works. It's why, the skin of people with it looks that way. It's not because of the actual disease itself, it's the disease just numbs the nerve endings to feeling pain. So that what happens is people with it, they injure themselves and don't realize they've injured themselves. And so, like, because pain is actually important. I think I was told, like, the way that it was explained to me when I was a child is that, like, pain is your body's way of telling you that something's wrong with it. So, like, not feeling pain is actually really bad because, like, something that happens in this game's story is the main character touching, like, a sword that's on fire and basically just giving himself third-degree burns on both of his arms and not realizing it at all. And that's a very real, again, imagine, it's like, you know how, like, if you touch the stove, you'll immediately recoil your hand because the instant pain response is telling you, don't stay in contact with this for too long? Yeah, imagine if you couldn't feel that pain response. And again, I like how the game actually is portraying that. It's actually a real thing that happens to some people. Okay, so I guess when these things are in break state, you can launch them. Which actually is just like FF13.
On to the next. Roger that. Show me what you can do, kiddo.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
That was almost too easy.
I will say that some people, like, one thing some people, I remember from, like, back when this game first came out, an issue some people have with it is the fact that, there isn't a victory screen, which means you don't get any, like, hilarious post-battle interactions with the party. Usually, there are some, like, as you can see, there kind of are some, but, Yep, totally whiffed Rising Wyvern there. I do like the fact that there are skips in this game. Yeah, so that thing's in break, so now we can Rising Wyvern, and then we can air combo, and then we can use Mirage to knock it back down. Also kind of whip Swallow Blade there. Still getting used to this battle system. I play some action RPGs, not like a huge number of them, but I do play a few. Attacking being on R1 is going to take a lot of getting used to, though, especially since that's the fast travel button in Persona 5, which I'm using the same controller for. But I think honestly that should be everything. That is 56 minutes into recording, and so far I haven't had it die yet. So with this, I guess I'll just say I really love this. Like, this uses a different art style to, like, it has almost a hand-drawn quality to it, and I really, really like what they did with that. Again, it just like Crash 4, it's an art style that I feel is going to age very, very well, as will this Shiba Inu tale. And on that note, yeah, I will end this test and see how this goes, like see how the recording saves. And I'll probably have to do a little bit more testing to fully conclude, but so far it's looking pretty good.